Alright, so we're going to look at Mathematics Paper 2 for Grade 9, paper which was written in 2025. So I'm going to answer the full paper, so stay with me as I'm explaining. And if you want to join my WhatsApp tuition, or my online tuition, you can WhatsApp me on this number, just 85 for Grade 9, external and internal. It is 85 per month and per subject. So there are two questions in this section. Answer both. Each question carries 10 marks. So let's start with the first one. Question A. Express 83,470 in standard form. Correct to 3 significant figures. So when you write the number, this one, 83,470, you need to start from here to start counting the number of decimal places until you reach at this point here. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many decimal places do we have here? We have 4, isn't it? So I'm going to say we have 8 point. That is where I'm going to put a point. 8.3. Since the number before 4, remember they want 3 significant figures. So you have to get like 2.43. These are 3 significant figures. Or 1.41. These are 3 significant figures. But if I include 1 here, these are going to be 4 significant figures. But remember, the number after 4 is greater than 5. Or is greater than or equal to 5. So I have to get 1 from this 7 here and then add to this number so that I get 5. Then multiply by 10 to the power the number of decimal places. How many were they? They were 4. Then you are done. Another example. Let's say for example you have 2,465. Then I tell you to express this one here in 2 significant figures. So 2 significant figures, you start from here by counting the number of decimal places. 1, 2, 3. So these are the number of decimal places that we have. So I'm going to write 2 point, but I have to look at the number before 4. Is it greater than or equal to 5? It is greater than or equal to 5. So we have 6. So I have to get 1 here and then put it somewhere here so that we get 5. So it is 2.5 multiplied by 10. Then the number of decimal places were 3. But if you find that the number which is after 4 is less than 5, let's say you have 2 here, don't get 1 and then add here. So meaning to say it just has to be 2.4 multiplied by 10 to the power positive 3 when the number before 4 is less than 5. So for the second part of our question, we have a box containing 6 red pens and 10 blue pens. A pen is picked from the box at random. What is the probability that it is blue? So first we have to calculate the total probability. So total probability, we are adding these numbers that we have in the box. So we have 6 red pens. We also have 10 blue pens. When I add, I'm going to get 16. So finding the probability of picking blue is going to be the favorable outcomes divided by the total probability. So the favorable outcomes for blue, how many blue do we have? We have 10. What is the total probability? It is 16. Reducing this number, 2 into 10, that is 5. 2 into 16, that is 8. So this is going to be our final answer. So on this one here, we have been given that matrix E is equal to 2 by negative 2, 3 by 1, and matrix F is negative 2 by 8, 2 by negative 6. Then find E minus 1 over 2 multiplied by F. So I have to start with E. I have to start with E here first. So we have 0, then 2, then 3, then 1. then minus 1 over 2. So matrix F is negative 2, 8, 2, negative 6. So this one is acting more like a scalar, so it is going to multiply with everything what I have here. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm also going to consider the negative. So if I consider the negative, meaning to say here we're going to have positive. So let me just like this one. So negative multiplied by negative, that is positive for the first part. Or let me just ignore about the negative because it is going to cause confusion. Let me just write it like this, and then multiply. So 1 multiplied by negative 2, that is negative 2. Divided by 2, that is negative 1. 1 multiplied by 2, 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. 1 multiplied by 8, 8. 8 divided by 2, 4. 1 multiplied by negative 6 divided by 2, that is negative 3. So we are subtracting the matrices here. 0 minus minus 1. So negative and negative, that is positive. Negative multiplied by negative, that is positive. So what we are saying here is 0 plus 1. Then 3 minus 1. Then negative 2 minus 4. Then 1 minus, so since this is negative and this is negative, negative multiplied by negative, that is positive. So 0 plus 1, that is 1. Negative 2 minus 4, that is negative 6. 3 minus 1, that is 2. 1 plus 3, that is 4. So this is going to be our final answer. The next part, which is D, the diagram is a triangular prism PQRSTU, in which TU is equal to 10 centimeters, SV is equal to 6 centimeters, and QU is equal to 18 centimeters. Calculate its volume. So volume is very easy to calculate, even in the total surface area. So volume is going to be equal to half width multiplied by height multiplied by length. So here, this is our length. So this is our length, this is our width, and this is our height. So we have half. Width there is 10. Height 6. Then the length is 18. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to reduce the big number here. 2 into 18, I'm going to get 9. Then 9 multiplied by 10, that is 90. Then 90 multiplied by 6. Let's see, what am I going to get here? Okay, let me do this. We have 90 multiplied by 6. So this is going to give us 0. Then what is 6 multiplied by 9? So remember here, you're not supposed to use a calculator. So what you're supposed to do is this. This is 1, 2, 3. So this is 2, this is 2, this is 2. Then 2 multiplied by 9, that is 18, 18, 18. Then when I add here, what am I going to get? This is going to be 32. 32 plus this one here. It's going to give me, is it 54? Yeah, 54. Something like this. So my final answer is going to be 540. But remember, I'm talking about volume, so it has to be in centimeters cubed as our final answer. Question 2. Solve the equation. So we have to multiply. Deal with the brackets first. So I'm multiplying 2 multiplied by 2x, I'm going to get 4x. 2 multiplied by negative 1, that is negative 2. Collecting the like terms. This one here will go to this side and this one will go to the other side. This is positive. When it crosses an equal sign, it's going to be negative 1. or negative x, then this is negative 2, and it goes to the other side, it is going to be positive 2. So we have positive 7 plus 2. 4x minus x, 3x. 7 plus 2, 9. Dividing throughout by 3. X is going to be equal to 3. So that is how you're supposed to answer that. Then here, question B. A sales lady is paid a salary of 1,200. So this is the salary, okay, plus a commission of 200, let me say 2% on all sales, or on all the sales. Then calculate her total income in a month. She sold goods worth 20,000. So what are we going to do here? The first thing, we have to calculate the 20% of this one here and then add it to the same amount that she receives every month end, which is the salary. So I'm going to say 20,000 multiplied by 2 divided by 100, because the percentage is always over 100. So this one and these, they are going to cancel each other. Then when I multiply 200 multiplied by 2, I'm going to get 400. So to know the amount that she's going to receive, since she receives 1,200 per month, so we're going to add it plus this commission that she's going to receive. So total, we have 1,200. Okay, so 1,200 plus 400. She's going to give us 1,600 kwacha. So this is the amount she's going to receive. Alright, so let's come to this question here. Of course, I'm not going to be accurate, but you have to use a LU. Okay, you have to use a LU. This is construction, and I'm going to try my best to make sure that you understand on this part. So use geometrical instruments to construct triangle PQR, in which PQ is 10 centimeters and QR is 8 centimeters, and angle PQR is 60 degrees. That is 1 mark. So the first part, we have to draw a line from P to Q, which is going to give us 9 centimeters. So you just take a loop, then you draw a straight line. So I'm going to draw a straight line here. So let's just imagine that this is 9 centimeters. So what am I having now? I'm having my P here and my Q here. No need of you indicating that this is 9 centimeters. Even if you indicate 9 centimeters, when they are marking, they are going to measure. So if they find that this is not 9 centimeters, they are going to mark it wrong. So no need of you indicating to say this is 9 centimeters. Then again, also have QR. So meaning to say Q, this is Q. Then R, it can be somewhere here. But in terms of the length, it is what? 8 centimeters. So let me just draw a straight line starting from here, meeting this one at this point here. So this is going to be now my QR. So let me write R right here. Okay, so this is where my R is going to be. So no need of you also indicating that this is 8 centimeters. They are going to measure. But remember, this is the triangle, so I have to complete it. So even here, I'm just going to come at this point here. Right. So this is now a complete triangle. But remember, the question was also saying to say the angle PQR, which is PQR is 60. So this one here, this angle here it has to be 60 degrees. So you have to measure using a protractor. Okay. So we have answered now question Roman numeral number 1. For question Roman numeral number 2, this one depends on how you are going to measure. So it is saying measure and write the length of PR. So the length of PR is this one here from P to R. So you measure starting from this point here using a loop, a measuring loop, starting from this point up to this point. Maybe you measure it to be 7.8, okay, centimeters. You write it like this. And I'm not saying that you're going to measure it to be 7.8 because I'm not accurate. I'm not drawing this one to scale. But what I'm doing is the right thing. So you have to use the LU, a protractor, as well as the compass to come up with this. Okay? Then for Roman numeral number 3, it is saying construct a bisectors of PQ and QR and let them meet at O. So let me just take this one here up and then take the entire diagram down here so that we draw the bisectors. This can be somewhere here. Okay. Again. So you have to look at now the letters which are appearing on both sides. So we have Q and Q. This Q here is appearing on both of these. So what you are going to do, you just have to open the compass and then you draw the bisectors. Number one, you are going to put your, once you open your compass, you are going to go on Q. So when you put your compass here, the sharp part of your compass, then you draw a bisector here. Even here. You also draw it here. You bisect. Then after that, you also go on P. We are following order by order, isn't it? You also go on P. So for P, you come here. You put your sharp part of your compass, then you strike here. Even here. Even here. Most of the times you find that the part that you're going to strike mostly when you put the compass here is just going to be this one. And then the other part for this one and this one here, you're going to strike them maybe when you put the compass here. Let me just show you. Because we also have another letter here, which is R. So we are done with P and Q. We are remaining with R. So you come at R here. You put your sharp part of the compass, and then you strike here. You also strike here. But remember, let me put them somewhere here. Okay. But remember, the question was saying, construct the bisectors of PQ and QR and let them meet at what? O. So we have PQ. Where is PQ? PQ is this one, isn't it? Then apart from that one, we also have QR. Where is QR? QR is this one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a dotted line. So always you have to draw, if you are from bisecting, you have to draw now a dotted line coming from this point here, then going down here. Straight one, passing through where this point, where these marks are intersecting. Then apart from that one, we also have this one here and from this point here. So we have this one going at Q. Then also have this one leaving P, going this side. So going that side. So let me just take it somewhere here. Like I said, this one is not drawn to scale, so what I'm doing is the right thing. So you just have to use the compass. So meaning to say point O is going to be somewhere here. Don't know if it is O. It was saying and let them meet at O. Yeah. So meaning to say O is going to be here. Let me just draw O. That is where O is going to be. And then for Roman numeral number 4, it is saying with center O and radius OP. Radius is this one here now. OP, from O to P. So you have to draw a line going at O like this, a straight one, going at the center. So this is now OP. So with the radius OP, draw a circle which passes through the vertex PQ and R. Okay. So you come here, you put the sharp part of your compass. Then you just adjust so that once you draw a circle, the circle is just going to pass through PQR on the edges. So when you put the compass here, then you adjust, you find that when you draw a circle, just have to make sure that you draw a circle which is going to pass through these points like this. So this is how the circle is going to look like. Then from there now you are done. So this is how you're supposed to construct this one, but it's not accurate like I said, but this is what you're supposed to do. Just make sure that you do the correct thing in terms of the measurements. Alright, then for section B, here there are 6 questions in this section. Answer any 3. Each question carries 10 marks. So I'm going to answer also that you know how to answer. So we have this one which is saying divide this number which is in base 2 by which is 1110 by 110 in base 2 and give your answer in base 2. Alright, an interesting part. So some of you know that one for using, like you say something that looks like this and then you put number here, you also put this number here. But I think that one, if it is very easy for you, you can use that one. There is no arm. So let me also show you the other way around. So since we have a number here, 11,110, which is in base 2. We also have 110, which is also in base 2. So what you're supposed to do here is this one here, since it is base 2, this number here is at position number 0, this is at position number 2, let me say position number 1, this is at position number 2, position number 3, position number 4. So these positions, they are very, very important. Even this one, position number 1, 0, 1, and 2. Since we are dealing with base 2, so what we are going to do here is, let me start with this one. I'm going to say 2, which is base 2, then to the power 4. This 4 is coming from the position number, which is 4 here, and then plus. Since it is base 2, I'm going to write 2. Then the position number of this one here is 3. Then plus 2. Then the position number of this one here is what is 2. Then plus 2. The position number of this one is what is 1. Then we can say plus 0. The position number is 0. So this one is just going to give us 0. So let's start with this one. This one is going to give us 16. This one is going to give us 8. This one is going to give us 4. This one is going to give us 2. Then when I add, what am I going to get? I'm going to get 30. So it's just very easy. Just multiply 2 4 times. So you say 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. You're going to get 16. Then come back to this one. 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. You're going to get 8. So this is what I'm doing. So this one now is going to be in base 10. Then let's come back to this one. So this one is at position number 2. So I'm going to say 2 to the power 2 plus this one, it is at position number 1. So 2 to the power 1 plus 0 to the power 0. So this is going to give us 4. This is going to give us 2. And this is going to give us 6. And this is going to be in base 10. So this is what we have. Now since here we are dividing, by means division. So what we are going to do here is we are going to divide 30 divided by 6. Then this is going to give me 5. Then remember this 5 is in base 10. So I have to convert it in base 2 now, which is just very simple. Or let me do this. Reduce this one in size, then put it here, and then erase this part. So we have 5. So remember, here we are going to have a quotient, then here we are going to have a remainder. So those are the things that we are interested in. So 5 divided by 2, what are we going to get? We are going to get 2 as the quotient. What is going to be the remainder? The remainder is going to be 1. So I have to take now the quotient and then write it here. So 2 divided by 2, I'm going to get 1. Remainder 0. Then 1 over 2, or 1, since the quotient which I have here is 1. So 1 divided by 2, what am I going to get? So remember, it's 1 over 2. This is going to give us 0.5, isn't it? So here, of course, I'm going to get 0, but remember, there is going to be the remainder 1. So this is the one which I'm going to write here. So in terms of the final answer, we write the remainder. So the final answer is just going to be 1. You start with this one here, then 0, and then 1. 1, 0, 1, then base 2. So this is how you're supposed to answer that. Then for this one, simplify. First, start with the brackets. So 5 multiplied by 2, that is 10x. Then 5 multiplied by y, negative 5y. Then minus 6x minus y. So these two are like terms. This one and this one, they are like terms. As well as this one and this one, they are like terms. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to collect them like this. Then we also have this. So 10x minus 6x, I'm going to get 4x. Then negative 5y minus y, I'm going to get negative 6y. Then this is going to be our final answer. So that is how you're supposed to answer that also. Then we have this one here. Given that matrix M is equal to this one and matrix N is equal to this, find matrix NM. So there's a difference between MN and NM. So you have to take note of that. So if the matrix is saying find NM and then you start with M, it's going to be a wrong answer. So start with the matrix which is at first and then end with the matrix which is at the end. So the first matrix is going to be negative 3, then 2. Then M, 1, negative 2, 4 by 0. So here now we are multiplying. Negative 3 multiplied by 1. Okay. Then plus 2 multiplied by negative 2. So we're done with this line here. Remember, when you're multiplying, you have to get it like a 7. Okay. Negative 3 multiplied by 4. So I have to leave a space here. Negative 3 multiplied by 4. Then plus 2 multiplied by 0. So this is going to give me negative 3 then this is also going to give me negative 4. But remember, this is positive. Positive multiplied by negative, that is negative. Then this is going to give me negative 12. Then this is going to give me 0. So when I do the computation, this is going to give me negative 7, and this is going to give me negative 12. Right. So this is going to be my final answer. Alright, so for this part, it is saying in the diagram, triangles DEF and DHG are similar. DH is equal to 8 centimeters. EH is equal to 4 centimeters. GH is equal to 6 centimeters. And GH and EG, or HG and EF, are parallel to each other. So HG, and EF, they are parallel to each other. Right. So the question is saying, calculate the length of EF. So we are calculating this EF. So we are going to use similarities. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to divide this one into triangles. The first triangle is going to be the bigger triangle. This one. Yeah. It's going to be a bigger triangle, which is this one. So this bigger triangle is going to have E, then it's going to have F, then D on top. Then the short triangle is this one here, the one on top, this one. So let me just do it somewhere here. So what we have here is we have D, we have H, we have G. So in terms of the values that we have here, we have 6. But remember, this one here, the length is accommodating E up to D. So E up to D, we have to add 4 plus 8. Then I'm going to get 12 centimeters. That is one thing that you need to understand. But from H to D, we have 8 centimeters. So calculating EF, it is just going to be very easy because we're just going to use similarities. So let me just write the formula and then answer it somewhere here. So I'm going to say HD or DH is similar to which side? Is similar to this side here, which is DE. Then HG is similar to which side? EF. Now, what is DH? DH is 8. What is DE? DE is 12. What is HG? HG is 6 and EF we don't know. Remember, if you start with the ratios of the smaller cylinder or the smaller triangle on top, make sure that they are throughout. What I mean here is this. There is nowhere you can say DH is similar to which one? DE. And then here you start with the bigger triangle by saying EF. You put EF here on top. Then you say it is similar to HG. No. You have to make sure that if you put the ratios or the labels for the smaller triangle on top, just put them throughout on top. Then if you decide to say, let me put the ratios of the labels for the bigger triangle on top, put them on top throughout. So this one can be written as this also. You can say DE is similar to DH, which is going to be equal to EF is similar to HG. This one is also acceptable. This is what I mean. So you can write it in this form or this form, but you can't write it in this form. DE is similar to DH and HG is similar to EF because these are not corresponding. This is from the smaller, this is from the bigger, and this is from the smaller triangle. So these are not corresponding. Using the numbers here, what are we going to have? So we can say 4 into 8, we are going to get 2. Then 4 into 12, we are going to get 3. Then 6, and then EF. So here we can multiply 3 multiplied by 2 by 6, I'm going to get 18. Then that one, I'm going to get this. Then dividing throughout by 2, 18 divided by 2, I'm going to get 9 centimeters. So this makes sense because this one is bigger than that. Then let's try to answer the simultaneous equation. So this simultaneous equation is just very simple because here you can't use substitution method. You have to use elimination method because this is positive and this is negative. So if I decide to put a positive here, meaning to say this is positive and this is negative, they are going to be eliminated. Then 2x plus 12x, I'm going to get 14x. 13 plus 15, I'm going to get 28. Then dividing throughout by 14, I'm going to get 2 as my answer. Very simple, isn't it? Then calculating the value of y, just have to pick one of these. We know the value of x, so I'm going to put 2 where I'm having x. This is going to be 4. When this one goes to the other side, it is going to be negative 4. Then when I do the computation, it is going to give me 9. Dividing throughout by 3, y is going to be equal to 3. So this is how you're supposed to answer. Very simple, isn't it? Let's come to this one. The diagram shows a cylinder or radius 14 centimeters and height of 30 centimeters. Then take pi to be 22/7. So this is the radius here. So the radius, which is r, is equal to 14. Then the height is equal to 30 centimeters. Calculate the total surface area of the cylinder. So you have to know the formula for calculating the total surface area of the cylinder. So total surface area of the cylinder is going to be equal to 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. So if you want here, we can factorize, or we can factor out what is common, which is 2 pi r. Then what are we going to remain with inside here? Remember here we have r squared, so we're going to remain with single r plus h. So what is our what is our pi? Pi is 22/7. Then what is our r? Our r is 14. Then inside we have 14 plus height we have 30. Adding what is inside here, what are we going to get? We are going to get 44. Then 14 divided by 7. 7 can go into 14 how many times? 2 times. Okay, so this is what we are going to have. 2 multiplied by 22, that is 44. Then here we are going to get 2 because 7 can go into 14 2 times. Then what we have inside here is 44. So now we are multiplying everything here. So 44 multiplied by 2, or if you want you can multiply 44 multiplied by 44. This is going to give us 16. 1, it is going to give us 16. 17 plus 1. This is plus 1, that is the reason why we're getting 17. That one 16. 1, that one 16, so 17. Then when I add 6, then this one is going to give me 13, then 1 is going to give me 8, 9, then plus that one, then multiply by 2. You find that this is going to give me what? This is going to give me 12, so 2 remainder 1, this is going to give me 6, plus that one, that is 7, that one is going to give me 18, so I can write 8 remainder 1. That one is going to give me 2, plus that one, it is going to give me 3. As a result, I'm going to get 3,872. So this is going to be my final answer. But remember, this is total surface area, so centimeters squared. Right. Question 4. The bar chart shows the number of marks scored by grade 5 learners in a test. So these are the number of marks here. So the number of marks we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And these are the numbers of learners in the y-axis. Then in the x-axis, we have number of marks. So how many learners wrote the test? The number of learners are here. Number 1, we have this one as 1. So we have to say 1 plus, we also have this one which is ending at 2. We also have this one which is ending at 3. We also have this one which is ending at 4. We also have this one which is ending at 5. So when I add, I'm going to get 15 learners altogether. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that is 15 learners, isn't it? And then calculate the mean mark. So the mean mark is the number that you are going to get after adding these ones and then divided by the number of what I mean here is this. You count how many figures do you have here. First you add like the way we have added here, as we're getting 15 learners. Then we start counting now the number of figures that we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 figures. So for us to calculate mean is equal to the total number of learners, which are 15 learners, then divided by the number of total figures. So these figures, they are 5. So if they were 2, like let's say 10 plus 15, you add this one, you're going to get 25. Then you have to divide by 2 because these are 2 figures. So as a result, the answer is just going to be 3. Okay, question 5. So question 5, it is saying the sum of interior angles of a polygon is 3,240 degrees. Calculate the number of sides of polygon. So what you have to know here is that sum of interior angles is going to be equal to n minus 2. Okay, let's see, there's that one. So it is n minus 2, then multiplied by 1/8. So we have been given the sum of interior angles, which is 3,240 degrees. Let's say 240 degrees. Then we're looking for the value of n. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to divide by 180 throughout. So this one is going to cancel. They are going to cancel each other. Then I'm going to cancel 1 0 here, even here 1 0. Then 18 into 324. So what you have to do here, this one is just very simple. So you start by saying 6 into 18, you're going to get 3. Then 6 into 33 into 32, you find the answer. Or you start by dividing throughout by 2. Then you're going to find that the answer is just going to be 18. So this is just very simple. You say we have this one, then 18 here. So 18. So like I said, 2 here, we're going to get 9. Then 2 here, I'm going to get 1. Then remainder 1, 2 there, 6. 2 here, 2. Then you start dividing also by, let's say 3. 3 there, that is 3. 3 here, what are we going to get? We're going to get 5. Remainder to 3 here, that is 4. Then 3 here, that is 1. 3 here, that is 1. Remainder 2. 3 into 24, we are going to get 8. That is where now 18 is coming from. So n is going to be equal to, you take this one to the other side, it's going to be positive. So 18 plus 2 is going to give me 20 sides. So it is 20 sides. Question B, solve the inequality. So So here we have to start with the brackets first. So 4 multiplied by 2x, we're going to get 8x. Then 4 multiplied by positive 1, that is 4. Collecting the like terms, this one has to go to the other side. So we're going to have 3x minus 8x less than or equal to 4. Then this one has to go to the other side. Remember, it's negative, so when it goes to the other side, it's going to be positive. So when I raise here, I'm going to get negative 5x. Then when I add here, I'm going to get 15. So dividing throughout by negative 5x is going to be equal to negative 3. Remember, this is less than or equal to negative 3. So when the answer is negative, you have to flip the sign. This is less than or equal to. So meaning to say x is going to be greater than or equal to negative 3 whenever you get a negative answer. Alright. Question 5. C. A Venn diagram shows sets L, M, and N. List the set M intersection N complement. So complement means to say you have to exclude that part. So what is M intersection N? M intersection N is this part. So complement, I have to exclude this one here. So if I remove this one here, what elements am I going to remain with? So I'm going to remain with these elements here, all these ones here. So I have to write them. But remember, it is also saying union L. So since it is saying union L is this one here. Okay, so it is demarcating to say we just have to get that one here. So what are we going to have? We're going to have, which one is the smallest? So we have B, C, D, F, and K. So those are the elements which are in L. Then for Roman number 2, L union M union N complement. So if we combine this one here, and this one here, and then we remove them, so we exclude them, we don't want these elements. That is what the question is saying. What elements are we going to remain with if we remove these ones? So we're going to remain with this one as well as this one. So it is A and I. A, comma I. Then you are done. Question 6. Given the following set of ordered pairs, so we have these coordinates here. Also have this one which is B, 11, so you just have to go through this one here. 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4, 8, and B, 11. Remember, the coordinates are in the form of x, y. So we have to find the function representing this mapping. So the first thing that we have to do, we have to find the gradient. So the gradient is given by this formula. y1, y2 minus y1, x1, x2 minus x1. So you can choose from here, whereby you say this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, and this is y2. Or you can choose these ones here which are remaining. Still you are going to get the same answer. So y2 is 6, y1 is 5, x2 is 2, x1 is 1. 1 divided by 1, because 6 minus 5, that is 1, 2 minus 1, that is 1. As a result, the answer is going to be 1. Y is equal to mx plus c. This is also another formula that you have to know. So we're looking for the y-intercept. We know the gradient to say is 1. So we have to pick the code apart from this one, because this one is not complete. So we have to pick any of these. So I'm going to pick 1, 5. So this is going to be my x and this is going to be my y. So y is 5, so I'm going to put it here. Gradient is 1. The value of x here is 1. Then the c-intercept we don't know. So c-intercept is going to be 5. 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. So this is positive 1. When it goes to the other side, it's going to be negative 1. So C is going to be 4. So this is how you're supposed to find the value of C. So writing now the final function, we can say y is going to be equal to, the gradient there is 1 multiplied by x plus the value of C, which is 4. Now 1 multiplied by x is same as what? Just same as x. So x plus 4. Then this is going to be our final answer. Then we have to find the value of b. So before we find the value of b, we have to identify the position of b. Is it in x or is it in y? It is in x. So we are finding this one. So if I were to delight this function here, I can say y is equal to b plus 4. Then what is the value of y? The value of y is corresponding to 11. When positive 4 goes to the other side, it's going to be negative 4. So b, 11 minus 4. Then b is going to be equal to what? Okay, it's going to be equal to 9. Is it 9? Okay, not 9, but let me see. It's going to be equal to 7. Yeah. It's going to be equal to 7. And then question 6b. So for question 6b, we have to evaluate this one, which is in base 5, and giving our answer in base 5 as well. So let me just highlight this one and highlight this one as well. Remember, this is base 5, so this is at position number 0, 1, then 2, 0, 1. Let me say 1 here. So since it is base 5, what we are going to do here is we are going to multiply 3. The reason why, for the ones that we had like these ones here, the reason why I was not multiplying by 1 is because 1 wasn't changing anything. That's the reason why I was ignoring the ones. But here, since we have a number which is going to cause an effect, so I have to say 3, the same number, then multiply by base 5. Then what is the position here? The position is number 2, so squared 2 or squared. Then this is 4 multiplied by 5. Then the position is 1. Then we can say plus 3 multiplied by 5. Then the position there is 0. Okay, so this is going to give us 3. This is going to give us 25. This is going to give us 20, and this is going to give us 3, because any number is power 0 is 1. So 1 multiplied by 3 is 3, and this is going to give us 75. So when I add it, I'm going to get 95. With 95, 98, because of these 3 here. Now remember, this one here is going to be in base 10. Let's also deal with the other one. So we have 24, 0 position and 1 position. So it is 2 multiplied by 5 to the power 1 plus 4 multiplied by 5 to the power 0. So this is going to give us 10. Then this is going to give us 4. As a result, I'm going to get 14 base 10. But remember, here we are multiplying. What are we doing? We are multiplying. So I have to multiply 98 multiplied by 14. So when I multiply, what am I going to get? But you have to make sure that you you do multiplication in a correct way. So this is going to give me 1372. So how do you do it? Just rearrange this. 98, then 14. You start multiplying. 4 multiplied by that, you write. Then this one multiplied by that, you write by that. So what we want now is to convert this number into base 5. So what we do is just going to write the same number. Then here we have the quotient, then here we have the remainder. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to divide now this number by 5. Then I'm going to get 274, then remainder 2. Okay, then I'm going to get the same quotient, write it here, then divide it by 5. Then what am I going to get? I'm going to get 54. Then what is going to be the remainder? The remainder is going to be 4. Then I'm going to write 54 here. Okay, then divide it by 5. Then what am I going to get? I'm going to get 10, then remainder 4. Then I'm going to get 10 here, then divide it by 5. What am I going to get here? I'm going to get 2. Then remainder just going to be 0. Lastly, I'm going to write 2. Then 2 into, or 5 into 5 into 2. Right, so meaning to say 5 into 2 we are going to get 0, not 2, but we are going to get 0. Then what is going to be the remainder? The remainder is the same answer that we have, since it is 0. So what are we going to remain with? It is not, if it is not entering, it is going to be 2, which is the same 2 here. So the way we write answers, we write the remainder. So we have 2, 4, 4, 0, 2. Then this is in base 5. So this is how you're supposed to answer this question. Question C is saying a tractor was bought on I purchase by paying a deposit of 60,000 plus 6 monthly in settlements of 50,000 each. So each month he or she was paying 50,000. Then the number of months, there are 6. Okay, then calculate the price of the tractor. So the first thing we have to multiply 6 months multiplied by the amount that he was paying per month, which is 50,000. Okay, so this one is just very simple. So we multiply 6 multiplied by 5, we are going to get that. Then remember here we have a 0. Then this is going to be 300,000 kwacha. He paid 300,000 kwacha, but remember on the first deposit, I don't know if it was the first deposit, he deposited 60,000, so we have to add also that one plus this one. And then what are we going to get? 360,000 kwacha is the amount that he paid. Right, so that is how you're supposed to answer that. Question 7a. Lordwell is paid 40 kwacha per hour. So that is the amount of money that is receiving per hour. And then for 35 hours week, and the rate of overtime is time plus quarter. So you know quarter is 1/4, isn't it? Then plus time. So time, it was 1 hour. So that is what it means, this statement here. Then calculate his total wage in a week in which he worked for 40 hours. So the first thing we have to find out the money that he received when he was working for how many hours? 35 hours. So this is going to be the nominal wage. It's going to be the nominal wage, which is going to be equal to, so we have 35 hours multiplied by the amount of money that he was receiving per hour. Then when I multiply this one here, I'm going to get 1,400 kwacha. That is the amount he was receiving. That is for 35 hours. But this is 40. So how many hours are remaining here? So what I mean here is if he was receiving this amount in 35 hours, what number is remaining for us to have 40 here? It's just 5 hours, isn't it? Because this is 35. 35 plus 5 is going to give us 40. So let's find now the overtime, which is 5 hours. So overtime. Remember 5 hours, then multiply by. Since it was saying and the rate of overtime is time and a quarter. Time and a quarter is this one here, which is 1 hour plus a quarter. So we have 1 hour plus a quarter. A quarter, when I divide here, I'm going to get 0.25. So meaning when I add 1.0.25, I'm just going to get 1.25. As simple as that. Okay, so let me just write it direct like 1.25. Now this 1.25, I need to multiply it by the amount of money that he was receiving per hour. In this case, it is 40 kwacha. Multiplying is just very simple. If you want, you can multiply 5 multiplied by 40. Then you convert this one here into a decimal point. Or into a decimal fraction. Not into a decimal point. You convert this one here into a fraction. Then you're going to find it easy for you to do the calculation. So you find that when I multiply here, I'm going to get 250. So now this is the amount that he received as the overtime. So I have to multiply, I have to add the amount he received for the overtime plus the nominal wage. So the nominal wage is 1,400 plus 250. So what am I going to get? I'm going to get 1,650. So this is the amount of money that he received after working for 40 hours in a week. Okay. So if you want to deal with this one here, let me just go back. Maybe you can have challenges. So you just convert to say this is going to be 125. Then how many decimal places here? We have 1, 2. So we're going to divide by 100. Then multiply by 40. So this one and this one, they are going to cancel each other. 2 here, I'm going to get 2. 2 here, I'm going to get 5. Okay? Then 5 into 125. What am I going to get? I'm going to get 25. Then multiply by 2. I'm going to get 50. Then 50 multiplied by 5. What am I going to get? I'm going to get 250. So this is what I was talking about. So very simple, is it? Question B. Given the density D of a stone and its mass and its volume V, complete the statements for calculating the displaying its mass. So what we are calculating here is mass. Density is equal to mass over volume, but we want to calculate mass. So we have to make mass the subject of the formula so that density multiplied by V is the one that we are going to find. So what are we entering here? We are entering density multiplied by volume. Then what are we going to put here? We are putting the formula. So we have to use the abbreviations. So that is D multiplied by V. Then what are we going to display here? We are going to display M, which is the mass. Then stop. So that is how you're supposed to answer that one. And then for question C, question 7C, on the XY plane, plot the points. We have negative 3, 1. Remember the coordinates are in the form of x, y. So negative 3 is in the x-axis, and x-axis is this one here. So these numbers that we're able to see, these ones here, they are in the x-axis. Okay? Then we also have the y-axis, which is this one here. So whatever number we are having here, they are in the x-axis, they are in the y-axis. That is what it means. So let's start with P. So P we have negative 3 and comma 1. So negative 3 is here and positive 1 is here. So they are going to meet at this point. So this is going to be my P. For Q, 3,0. So 3,0, you know to say that y is 0 in the x-axis. So the point is going to be somewhere here, because this is positive 3. So meaning to say this is going to be my Q. R, 3, negative 2. So negative 2 is somewhere here and positive 3 is here. So the point is going to be somewhere here. And this is R. So we have to connect now the points. Starting from this one here, cutting through that point, then here. Then also from here, passing through that point to that, and then from here up to this point here. Alright, so it has to be now a triangle, a small triangle. Let me just put it nicely so that it looks like a triangle. Yeah. So this is how it is going to come. It is going to look like. Use a different color so that you are able to see. Yeah. So that is our triangle. Then draw the line. Y is equal to x plus 1. So y is equal to x plus 1. So we have to come up with now the table value. If I put 0 on x, what is going to be y? Y is going to be 1. Okay? Then when I put 0 on y, what is going to be x? X is going to be negative 1. Then again, if I choose to put, let's say, negative 2 on x, what is going to be the value of y? The value of y is going to be negative 1. So what I'm doing here is this. If you put 0 here, then you add 0 plus 1, it's going to be 1. That is where it is coming from. Then when you put 0 here, then you say x plus 1. This one is going to go to the other side. That's the reason why we're getting negative 1 here. And then if we say y is equal to, if you choose x to be negative 2, then plus 1, I'm going to get negative 1. So this is where negative 1 is coming from. So plotting the coordinates, what do we have? 0, 1, which can be somewhere here. And then negative 1, 0, which can be somewhere here. And then you also have negative 2, negative 1. Negative 2, negative 1 is going to be somewhere here. And then drawing a line. Okay, so this is going to be our line. So I'm going to name this line as y being equal to x plus 1. Then from there we are done. Question 8. On a particular day, the exchange rate between the American dollar and the Zambian kwacha was $1 be equivalent to 24 kwacha. How much dollars will be exchanged for 12,000 kwacha? So you just have to write 12,000 kwacha, then divided by 24. Then when I divide, I'm going to get 500. So this is going to be 500 USD. So this is how I'm supposed to answer. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe for more videos like this.